Don't blink. Don't even breathe. Because this is the part you warned them about. The storm you spoke of while they laughed, the collapse you could feel humming beneath every fake smile, every handshake, soaked in decay. You told them the world was made of glass. They thought it was steel. And now, as it shatters, you're the only one not surprised. You saw it coming, miles away, like a prophet in a madhouse, like a monster in church. You smelled the smoke before they noticed the fire. You heard the sirens in the silence. You knew the world was too calm, too polished, too perfect not to explode. And when it did, oh, when it did, you didn't flinch. You just stood there, eyes steady, watching the masks melt off their faces, because you understood something they never could. Chaos isn't the enemy, it's the audit. It's the universe checking the receipts. Every lie, every hidden cruelty, every quiet betrayal they thought would go unnoticed. It all comes due. And you, the one they called paranoid, cold, distant, you were just early. You watched them build towers on quicksand and call it progress. You saw them worship comfort while pretending it was virtue. You kept your distance, not out of arrogance, but because you knew what happens to those who fall asleep in Eden. They wake up in hell with a smile on their lips and blood on their hands. And now, here we are, pure, faking chaos. The streets hum like open wounds. The laughter sounds wrong. The ones who swore they were good are clawing for their own survival. And you're calm because you've been here before. Inside your head, inside your past. You already learned how to live without certainty. You already made peace with madness. They'll call you heartless for not panicking. They'll call you dangerous for not trembling. But that's the funny part, isn't it? They mistake composure for cruelty. They don't understand that once you've been broken properly, nothing outside can truly scare you again. You used to beg for peace. Now you study storms. You used to pray for mercy. Now you are mercy, measured, precise, selective. You used to think chaos was punishment. Now you know it's cleansing. Because that's the paradox. Destruction doesn't kill you. It purifies you. The fire doesn't burn. It baptizes. You don't stand in chaos to survive it. You become the calm inside it. And once you do, once you've tasted that equilibrium that only comes from complete collapse, you can never go back. You've evolved into something beyond their comprehension. You are not normal. You are necessary. The world needs people like you, unshaken, unbothered, uncomfortable in illusions. Because you carry truth like a weapon, and truth is messy. Truth destroys before it rebuilds. They didn't listen when you warned them, and now they crawl to you for answers. But the beautiful part, you don't need to explain. You don't need to justify. You let them drown in their own arrogance while you move like water, formless, calm, inevitable. And still deep down, a part of you almost pities them. Because you remember when you believed in control, when you thought people cared about truth. But that died the day you realized most of them only care about comfort. And comfort, my friend, is just anesthesia for the soul. You cut the anesthesia. You ripped out the needle. You stared reality in its feral, grinning face. And it didn't kill you. It crowned you. That's the power they'll never understand. The power of being unshockable. The power of predicting collapse and still standing tall when it comes. That's why your silence terrifies them. Because it's not apathy, it's awareness. You know the script, and you refuse to play along. Let them panic, let them scream, let them clutch their pearls and call you cold, cruel, unfeeling. They're not wrong. You become something sharper than empathy, stronger than hope, more stable than sanity. You've become the inevitable. When everything falls apart, The loudest ones lose themselves first. The soft ones crumble next. But the ones who saw it coming, the ones like you, walk through the debris like they were built for it, because in some twisted, beautiful way, you were. Every heartbreak taught you strategy. Every betrayal taught you silence. Every loss taught you detachment. Every chaos trained you for this. You were sculpted by catastrophe, molded by collapse, refined by ruin. They thought chaos would destroy you, but it was your apprenticeship. You graduated from the school of pain with distinction. You stopped hoping for normal. You started preparing for truth. And now look around. They're all playing catch-up in a war you already finished. You warned them politely. They laughed. You walked away. They called you cold. You rebuilt yourself quietly. They called you insane. But now they call you something else. Unpredictable, dangerous, unreadable, good. That's exactly what you were meant to become. Because the calmest person in chaos isn't the weakest. It's the one who built a home inside the storm. You did. And that's why they fear you. Because deep down, they know you were never broken. You were just preparing for the world to finally catch up to your chaos. And now that it has, you smile. Because you saw it coming miles away. And that makes you the only sane one left. You see, the mistake they all made was thinking chaos was something that happens to you. But you learned the truth the hard way, didn't you? Chaos doesn't happen to you. You happen to chaos. You don't just survive it. You sculpt it. You bend it. You dance with it like an old familiar lover. Because once you've watched everything you loved disintegrate into ash and noise, you stop fearing the explosion. You become the detonation. You learned early that calm isn't the absence of noise. It's control inside the fire. You walk into a room full of shaking hands, burning egos, twitching eyes, and you don't twitch. You don't flinch. You don't need to speak. Because power isn't volume, it's vibration. And yours hums like a storm before it breaks. You saw through them long before they ever saw you. Their smiles, those little porcelain masks stretched too wide. The trembling underneath the performance. You noticed the hypocrisy dripping off their words like blood off a knife. You didn't hate them for it. Number. You understood them. Because you were once naive enough to believe they were like you. Hungry for truth. Allergic to lies. But you learned. Oh, you learned. Now you know the truth. People don't want honesty. They want anesthesia. They don't want to wake up. They want lullabies while the building burns. And when you refused to sing, when you refused to play dumb, they called you cold. But that's not coldness, is it? It's clarity. And clarity feels cruel to the blind. They said you changed. No. You shed. You outgrew the softness that made you prey. You stopped bleeding for those who sharpened their knives on your kindness. You stopped begging to be understood by people who only listen to echoes of themselves. Now your silence hurts them more than your anger ever did. Your detachment cuts deeper than your words. Because your peace is proof they lost control of you. And that is what terrifies them. They don't understand that your stillness isn't emptiness, it's precision. You see everything, every twitch, every whisper, every motive, hidden beneath their performance. You're not detached, you're diagnosing. And when chaos came, oh, you were ready. Because chaos doesn't destroy the prepared. It crowns them. It filters out the fakes, burns the masks, and leaves behind only the real. You, the unshakable, the unbreakable, the one who saw the cracks before the collapse. You don't belong to the old world anymore. That version of you, the one who apologized for existing too loudly, for seeing too clearly. That version died in the fire you predicted. Now you move differently. You talk slower, but every word lands. You smile rarely, but when you do, it unnerves them because they don't know what it means. You've become unpredictable, and unpredictability is power. They can't manipulate what they can't read. They can't destroy what doesn't react. You've turned emotion into a weapon, measured, refined, controlled. You bleed only when you choose to. You strike only when it's poetic. You vanish before they know they've been taught a lesson. You learn that power isn't about noise, it's about timing, and timing is everything. They'll say you're detached from reality, but that's the trick, isn't it? You're not detached, you're just not attached. You can walk away from anyone, anything, at any moment. That's real freedom. That's the one thing they'll never have, because most people's strength depends on stability. Yours was born from collapse. Most people need comfort to function. You learn to breathe in discomfort like oxygen. Most people pray for safety. You evolved in danger. You stopped begging for light. You learned to glow in the dark. And here's the paradox that keeps the universe entertained. The ones who tried to destroy you were the ones who constructed you. Their betrayal built your armor. Their silence became your training ground. Their chaos became your cathedral. You didn't just walk through hell, you redesigned it. You didn't just survive the storm, you built a throne in the middle of it, love. Now when the world trembles, you don't run, you lean in. Because you understand something they'll never grasp. The storm isn't meant to punish you, it's meant to polish you. It strips away illusions, burns away weakness, and leaves behind only truth. And the truth is, you're not the same. You don't crave validation anymore. You don't chase approval. You don't need applause. Because when you've watched people love you one day and crucify you the next, you learn something divine. Approval is just control wearing makeup. So you erased it. You became untamed, uncontrollable, and beautifully unpredictable. They think you're emotionless, but that's the illusion. You feel everything. You just stopped giving free access to it. You built walls not to keep people out, but to keep your peace in. You guard your energy like a kingdom, because it is one. And those who try to storm the gates, they learn quickly that your silence is their mirror. It reflects everything they can't face about themselves. That's why they hate you, not because you're dark, but because your darkness exposes theirs. They call you dangerous now. They whisper your name like a warning. They don't even know why they're afraid. They just are. Because when someone walks calmly through chaos, it means one thing. They've already met every version of death inside themselves. And once you've faced that, what's left to fear? You've transcended fear. You've outgrown validation. You've evolved past pain. Now chaos doesn't scare you. It bows to you. You don't chase storms anymore. You call them. And when they come, you smile. Because you saw it coming miles away. You always did. So when they ask, how did you stay calm through all this? You don't explain, you just smirk. Because calm isn't what you became, it's what you've always been. They mistook your silence for weakness, but your silence was prophecy. And now, as they drown in the noise they created, you stand there like a monument, still precise, eternal. Because you warned them, you watched them, you waited, and when chaos arrived, you didn't run, you simply became it. That's not confidence, that's not arrogance, that's transcendence. And that, my friend, is what pure fucking chaos looks like when it finally learns how to walk